Sanibonani, Korea. In a way of introducing myself, my name is Simamile, quite a long name. And yeah, what brings me to YouTube is my love for Korean media, particularly Korean dramas. Some K R&B, K soul, a bit of K pop, not too much. But I absolutely love Korean dramas. I think my a lot of my worldview, like since I started watching Korean dramas, have changed. And I think it's almost healing. You find so much healing in them. And my favorite Korean genre is saguks, which are like the historical Korean dramas. Absolutely love them. Yeah. So I think that's in a nutshell, just introducing what I'm doing here. I am kind of here to also start a conversation around the K dramas that we do watch, the impact they have on us, and to have a conversation and to kind of like also get people who are interested who don't necessarily have anybody else that they can talk about, Korean dramas with, like just the space where we all can just come and huddle. And this is the kind of space that I want to create with this channel. I don't like ongoing dramas because it kind of breaks the flow, and I do get busy, so a lot of the time I'm only able to really watch dramas, I think, from Thursday evening until Sunday. So I just prefer to just binge watch a drama on the weekend and then I'm done with it. Instead of waiting for weekly drops, I would, and I feel like it also breaks the flow of the story and the intention of the writers, because what I picked up, like I did watch a couple of dramas while they were ongoing, and what I pick up is that, because you as a viewer, you are taking in the drama, but because you've got a break, you see two episodes this week and two episodes the next week. You've got time to digest in between, and sometimes because you're so busy you forget certain details that when you then rewatch the drama in continuation, you start picking up, the intent of the writer and why the story pans out the way it is, which is why people who I find that watch dramas like weekly always do have a bit of unhappiness with how the drama pans out, and they're always a bit disappointed because they don't you kind of forget what happened in the last two episodes the previous week. So it kind of gives you that break, unless if you rewatch the last 30 minutes of an episode and then continue with what's being dropped this week. But you do have that kind of break where you kind of still have to find yourself. So if you watch it in continuation, I find it's almost like reading a book, which is what I also love. Maybe that's why I do this. So when I watch all 16 episodes, all 20 episodes in continuation, all 50 episodes in continuation, I get to understand the intent of the writers, of the producers, and of the directors, of this work that they've created. And it all comes together. You, even if you've got questions, you're able to absorb the emotions even a lot more. I know with the recent drama 39, a lot of people who watched it were greatly unhappy with it, and they didn't really have the emotional connection. But what I found with that cohort of viewers versus the viewers that kind of watched it, um, who binge watched it, the binge watching viewers, felt the emotion. They felt all the emotion come on, in a way that the guys who were watching it weekly for the time it was on, for the 6 weeks it was on, didn't have that same emotional connection. So I think it's a different approach. Sometimes it achieves the same thing. Sometimes with the really good series, regardless whether you binge watch or you watch it weekly, while it's ongoing, we still get the same emotion at the end of the day. We still connect the same to the drama. So yeah, and then to jump onto this week, in terms of dramas, we do know K dramas are very notorious for giving us the best, best boyfriend material ever. I think they just kill it with doing that, you know. So my favorite three, surprisingly, I don't go to the typical dramas. I think there's only one here that most people cite. Boyfriend material, boyfriend of the year, boyfriend, best boyfriend in a K drama has to be Hyun Tae Woon, played by Kim Jong Hyun, in School 2017. Best, best boyfriend in a K drama ever. And the reason why I would pick Kim Jong Hyun is purely because um, the way he encouraged Ryu Eun Ho, you know, to chase her dreams, the way he was the one that was pushing her, holding her accountable to achieve her dreams. And I feel like, you know, your partner is supposed to do that for you. A guy that you're with, you know, both of you are supposed to be pushing each other to be the best versions of yourself as possible. And he does that consistently all the time, you know. Yes, he's got that streak of a bad boy because he's like the school vigilante or whatever, but you know, the way he pushes her to be the comic. He's as worried as she is about her not getting into the university she wants, and he's finding avenues for her to achieve her dreams so that she's as happy and as fulfilled as she can possibly be. And I think for me, that is incredible. I absolutely, absolutely love him. Okay, next on my list has to be Lee Kang Do, played by Lu Jun-ho, Just Between Lovers, aka Rain or Shine, both on Viki and Netflix. He also is just like absolutely boyfriend goals. Oh, my parents are visitors. So yeah, I was at Just Between Lovers. Obviously, Just Between Lovers isn't your even lost my placing, your typical rom com kind of K drama, but I find that Lee can do, you know, as broken, as shaken as he is with life, his post traumatic stress disorder, when he falls in love with Han Munsu, you know, he goes all in, like absolutely all in. Every part of him, his fears, his joys, everything, you know, also encapsulates who she is without trying to change her. Sorry, there are people walking around here. This is what you get for filming on a Sunday. Okay, so yeah, everything encapsulates her, and in the same way that I liked the male lead in School 2017, I also like him because you know he does work to make her better, to make her happy. Like it's always about her, and when he realizes when his self-esteem, you know, gets affected by this relationship, and he realizes that maybe he's not the best thing, maybe there's somebody out there that's better for him, and he decides to break up with her. I think we all remember that scene at the bus stop, you know, where he breaks up with her and she walks away from him and she's like, he's going to look back, he's going to look back, and he doesn't. He continues on his way because he's like, this is for her, you know. That for me is a person who's able to even do that when they know that they want to, because a lot of people hold on to you even when they're not necessarily the best for you, and he does the exact opposite. Absolutely love that. Another thing I also liked about him was in the end, you know, where she's like, you know what, this is what I want. I want us to be intimate and, you know, we can go to this motel. I don't see what's wrong. And he decides it's also not good for her because he can afford better and he gives her the best that he can. And I think for me, that is just Chef's kiss. Mwah. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah. And then the funny one. This list would not be complete without Anmaniak Hak, played by Park Hyun Sik in Strong Girl Bong Soon. I think he needs to be on the list. Because she didn't really Do Bong Soon didn't really need him because she had the physical strength and whatever, and all she wanted was to create her own game with a very strong girl who is like her, and he gives her the platform to do that because obviously he's got a gaming company, he can. But it's not the things that you can do is that you do. It's also the stuff that the foresight where he goes, you can't always depend on when he says to her, you can't always depend on your strength alone to get out of situations. You also need to know how to fight, and he puts it through this vigorous training for her to learn how to first control her strength and channel it better. And when her strength fails, that comes to the fore so much that she's got other skills to lean on besides her just being strong. He builds her as a person, which is why I'm not surprised that she actually does fall in love with him, because he goes through a process of working with her so that she can be better, and they become better together. And for me, like, guys, obviously now you can tell what my type is. It's like that encouraging, supportive, building partner. And I think, what, in K dramas, we have got that in spades. So yeah, join me next week. Join me next week. I think I'll be posting on Mondays. I'm going to try to consistently post on Mondays. Mm, because it's easier to record on the weekend than it is midweek because live, and yeah. But yeah, anyway, I'm doing this in collaboration with Sanibonani Korea, that is run by the Korean Embassy. So please share, um, and share this post and subscribe to my channel. And see you next week. Bye bye.